Now, back when I was a kid, Kmart used to be legit. It was right on par with like Target and Walmart is competing. It was in the mix. I actually liked Kmart a lot because they had this little like icy stand and after the checkouts, and I would beg my mom to let me get an icy at the checkout, after the checkout stand at Kmart, and they took it out. Like one day we just went there and they ripped it out and it was gone, no more ices, and that I think was the beginning of the end for Kmart. I don't think I've been into Kmart in at least 10 years, and today we're gonna change that. Look at this, Kmart has been around for 118 years, since 1899. Well, as a company, I guess, but in 1962 is when they opened its first store as a Kmart store. 1977 renamed as Kmart, so it's been around a long time. Now here is the other problem. Now Kmart stock, Sears owns Kmart. They purchased them in 2005, okay, and I gotta think most of this is from Sears because Kmart was not doing well around that time too. Sears is suffering from the same problem, by the way. Look at this. 2007, they kind of hit their peak, 191, and then just down, 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 down. Make a tiny comeback, and then just continually going down, 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 down. Look, today, $6.67 per share. Yikes. That's Sears and Kmart. Here's Kmart's problem, and Sears' problem for that matter. It's that you either, in business, if you're running a store, you either have to have a differentiation strategy or a low-cost strategy. What do I mean by that? So low-cost strategy is like, think like Walmart. Not that cool of a store, not a beautiful store. You don't go to Walmart because it's cool, you go there because it has the lowest price, right? You can't beat their prices usually. Now, if you're using a differentiation strategy, you might not have the lowest price, but you've got the coolest product, or you somehow differentiate yourself from everybody else. Think of like Apple computers. Not the lowest price, but they differentiated themselves into a cooler, higher quality product. At least they've made people believe that. You can debate if that's true or not. So you have to set yourself apart in some way. The problem is that Kmart's doing neither of those. They don't have the lowest prices, and they're not really running any kind of a differentiation strategy either. It's not like cool to go to Kmart. You don't think like quality. What do you think of when you go to Kmart? What stands out? Nothing really. It's customer service, best products, lowest price, That's a problem. Mark Echo in an interview asked about like how his Echo brand is doing. He didn't seem too excited about it. Now I know why. Walked through the whole store pretty much, and here's the thing, it doesn't look that much different from when I was a kid. Even those cash registers, they look like the exact same ones from 20 years ago, which is kind of cool in a way, but that's a problem because you can't compete in today's world by staying the same. It just doesn't work. You have to update things. And it's easy to pick apart, you know, Kmart or, you know, rip on them. That's easy to do, to say, to trash anything, to be a critic of anything. We had an interesting discussion in one of my business classes about if you were this company, what would you do to improve? And Kmart came up. I actually nominated Kmart. And there were thoughts of like a rebrand, change their advertising style. Most of the store didn't look too good. That part of the store with like the Adam Levine stuff, that actually looked pretty good, I thought. It's a huge store. They've definitely got the space on their side, and the Kmart that I remember that I went to when I was a kid, that one is closed and it turned into something else now. There's a few left, but let's just say you're Kmart. You're the CEO of Kmart. What would you do right now? How would you turn it around? Because it seems like they're just kind of going more and more south. And if you look at their stock price throughout the last few years, you'll see that. I know they might not have a ton of money to work with, but if I'm Kmart, it seems like the floor wouldn't be, well, that would be kind of expensive, but the floor was like, it had like holes in it in some spots. It just looked old. It looked like an old basement or some rundown warehouse's floor or something. The floor made the store look old, and things were like disorganized. The aesthetics of the store, that's what I would say would be the #1 thing that was kind of unappealing if you want to get back in the game. I'm not saying I know how to do that. I'm not saying that would be easy, but I've got kind of a soft spot in my heart for Kmart. I want to see, you know, I don't want to see them fail. I don't want to see them go out of business, but what would you do? Let me know in the comments.